I'm sure most of you are aware of the recent television special that claimed to give an honest, candid, and revealing look into the private life of one of the world's most successful and controversial celebrities, Michael Jackson. The revelations were explosive. The ratings were enormous. But Michael has claimed that what TV journalist Martin Bashir presented was a twisted and edited construction of scandal and innuendo, not a true representation of the interviews that actually took place. In the next 2 hours, we're going to give you an opportunity unprecedented in the history of television. We're going to show you footage that was never intended to be broadcast.
Tonight, the private video from Michael's own cameras. Cameras that shot the Michael Jackson interview. The footage you were never meant to see.
As much as I do not speak about my family, I will. Right now.
For the first time, Michael's ex-wife speaks out in public.
My kids don't call me mom because I don't want them to.
You'll find out what really happened during the astonishing incidents with his children in Germany.
And I've seen
better.
People that flip their kids up in the air and do somersaults and catch them.
To be honest with you, I think wait another 4 or 5 years, the kids will come in front of a camera and they will defend their daddy.
You'll hear about Michael's childhood.
One of the things I can see this man tried to do, he tried to pin something on me where I was real brutal.
You'll find out how Michael really feels about his father.
He doesn't know this, but I walk in the room and his presence will be there and I would faint.
You'll hear about Michael's surgery that the other special didn't mention.
The whole top of his head caught fire right in front of my eyes.
You'll hear the truth behind Michael's children and their disguises.
Michael's very proud of his children. I'm the one who's terrified.
You'll go behind the rumors of the Neverland Ranch.
I never did. I would slit my wrist if I were hurt.
And find out how those rumors have driven a family from their home.
Gavin called me. He was crying on the phone. He went in gas station. The kid in gas station, they start kidding. Oh, you are the kid doing this with Michael. You slept in Michael. They ruined this kid's life.
You'll hear from the people closest to Michael.
I've heard someone say on the television that no one should be allowed behind those gates at Neverland, especially the children. They don't even know what they're talking about.
Plus, a surprise revelation from the man behind the Michael Jackson interviews.
There'll be a lot of controversy about this.
This is tabloid stuff.
Well,
you're beyond this.
I know.
You're a respected
Well,
journalist.
All tonight on the Michael Jackson interview. The footage you were never meant to see. Hosted by Maury Povich.
With Mr. Bashir's full knowledge, Michael had his own behind-the-scenes camera documenting the major interviews. The quality of the audio and video may be a bit raw at times, but it will enable you to see and hear the interviews as they actually happen, and will allow you, the viewing audience, to draw your own conclusions. And while Michael Jackson has provided this footage to us, he has absolutely no control over the editorial content of this program. But who is Martin Bashir? And how did he get an exclusive interview with one of the most reclusive pop stars the world has ever known? In 1995, this little-known British journalist caused an uproar when his sensational interview with Princess Diana revealed details of her extramarital affair. Since then, he has scored interviews with some of England's most notorious newsmakers, becoming somewhat of a celebrity himself.
Martin, quick word for the evening news.
His interview with Jackson was, as he put it, a request to show me the real man, but show me everything, make nothing off limits. Michael agreed, and the first interview was scheduled for the summer of 2002. In these photos of one of Bashir's interviews with Jackson, you can see the camera that captured the footage you were never meant to see. It's mounted right there on the light stand. This is the view it was capturing at the last interview. And this is the shot from the very first interview at Neverland. The man adjusting the lens.
now this is on.
Okay, so can we have silence in the house?
Yeah.
Is Jackson's own documentary cameraman.
Well, I just wanted to clarify that it was not a secret video, because right now they're saying that we were secretly videotaping him, but that's not the truth. Mr. Bashir saw me, hooking up the camera, And you know, everybody saw the camera out there, and we were just rolling it. We usually do documentary on every, you know, things that Mr. Jackson does.
Do you think that your success has actually made people turn against you?
The bigger the star, the bigger the target. And the more popular I became, the more rumors that were created, which none of which were true. I mean, the moment I started breaking the all-time records of the biggest selling albums of all time, they called me weird overnight, strange, wacko. You know, they said I'm a girl, homosexual. He wants to buy the Elephant Man bones. He sleeps in a hyperbaric chamber. None of that stuff is true. All completely made up.
I've seen where you
all
sleep.
a lie.
I've seen where you sleep, and it's not a hyperbaric chamber.
I sleep in a bed. I mean, people would be so surprised how normal and simple the way I live.
Most people would have a very hard time thinking Michael Jackson's life was normal or simple. Maybe it's that ranch north of Santa Barbara, California, the 3,000 acres he calls Neverland.
Neverland is an extraordinary, a breathtaking, a stupendous, an exhilarating, an amazing place. I can't gather together words to describe Neverland. What inspired you to make a home like this?
What inspired me? It was so easy because it was me being myself, creating things that I love. And what I love, kids happen to love, or the child that lives inside the adult happens to love. You know, it is so easy because I'm just putting behind the gates everything I never got to do when I was a kid.
Tell me why, is it so? Don't wanna let you go. I never can say goodbye, girl.
Do you have regrets about the way your life has been?
Somewhat.
And what do you regret?
When I was really little, around 11 or 12, I was under contract with Motown, and I would have to go to the recording studio. I had to go and make these albums because the summer tour was right around the corner, and right across the street from the recording studio was a ballpark, and I could hear the kids, you know, the roar of the crowd and playing and catching ball and having fun and playing tennis. And some of those times I so passionately wanted to just go over there and just play a little bit and not go to the recording studio and sing. Just to, you know, have some fun with the kids. And I couldn't. People say, why is he always with children? Well, I was raised in a world with adults. When kids were playing in bed sleeping at night, I was up doing clubs. I was doing club dates, 3 in the morning. The striptease would come on after us. You know, we were performing. And we didn't have friends. My brothers were like my friends, but we worked. There was no Christmas. There were no birthdays, and we were very strict Jehovah's Witnesses. So I'm compensating. Nature makes sure that I compensate for the lost. So when you come behind my gates, you'll see amusement parks, you'll see animals, you'll see everything I never got to do. There's candy everywhere.
While Bashir and his crew were here at Neverland, they got to witness what has become an almost weekly experience. Busloads of children, some from the inner city, some orphaned, some terminally ill, but all of them escaping their reality to spend the day at Michael Jackson's creation.
Listen, kids.
So, want to come over here and see the elephant? I feel totally at home with them. I can talk to them one-on-one because they don't judge you. You know, they're not looking for anything. They just want to have some fun, you know. And that's the same with myself. And I can connect to that, you know. I can understand that. And the fact that I missed out on so much as a child. As soon as they come in the room, for me, the room lights up.
I like the sound it makes. That's great.
They're really funny. Oh my God, they're funny.
Didn't one of them say something funny to you yesterday about...
Yeah, one of the boys said to me, he said, he saw all the rides and all the amusements, and he said, Michael Jackson, you own all of this? I go, yeah. He said, you paid for all of this? I said, yeah, I did. And you still have money left over? That's exactly what he said to me. I said, yeah. I said, yeah. He goes, I can't believe it. He said, I can't believe it. That's exactly what he said. He was amazed that I still had money afterwards.
We're Make-A-Wish staff members, and we are escorting all the Wish families that came to meet Michael. It's just great to be a part of it and see how happy they are.
Everything is free, theater, amusement park, whatever they want to do, they can do it.
But it's not free to you, it's cost you millions of
Millions
dollars.
a year, yeah, millions. But you know, I get it all back when I see them smile.
Sugar attack right now.
Peter Pan. I've been in the house, I've seen the statues outside the house. Why is Peter Pan a figure of such interest and inspiration to you?
Because Peter Pan, to me, represents something that's very special in my heart. You know, he represents youth, childhood, never growing up, magic, flying, everything I think that children and wonderment and magic, what it's all about. And to me, I just have never, ever grown out of loving that or thinking that is very special.
You don't want to grow up.
No, I am Peter Pan.
Oh, you're like a Michael Jackson.
I'm Peter Pan by heart.
Do you think it would be true to say that you found friendship and inspiration in children that you haven't been able to find in adults?
That's absolutely the truth.
Really?
Yes. Yes. I haven't been betrayed or deceived by children. Adults have let me down. Adults have let the world down.
What you're seeing all took place on the day that Martin Bashir and his crew were filming at Neverland. You actually see him in several of the shots being taken by Jackson's camera crew.
This was supposed to be a documentary to tell the truth, everything. And I mean, who would bring somebody to his life and open up all the way and wanted to lie about it? You know, if you want to lie about it, don't even do it. You didn't have to do this documentary. Nobody forced them to do this documentary.
After a full day spent with children from the Make-A-Wish Foundation at Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch, what was Mr. Bashir's comment? We'll quote directly from his appearance on ABC's Primetime Thursday. One of the most disturbing things is the fact that a lot of disadvantaged children go to Neverland. It's a dangerous place for a vulnerable child to be. Now, I'm not saying that I saw any evidence of Michael Jackson being involved sexually with any children. Quite the contrary. But what I am saying is that children who are vulnerable should not be going into the house of a billionaire superstar where they sleep in his bed. As we said, that was Bashir's comment heard on TV by millions of people. But what did Bashir say to Michael Jackson about this day at Neverland? Let's take a look at the footage that was captured by Michael's camera, documenting the interviews.
The problem is, you see, nobody actually comes here and sees it. But I was here yesterday, and I saw it, and it's nothing short of a spiritually kind thing.
He does it all the time.
I know, but I've told him. I know.
A lot of people see it, but
they never talk about it, and I've said this to him, and what I've wanted to convey is those two things. And what we've had the privilege of doing this week is not only talking about the musical genius, but about what we saw yesterday, which was incredible.
The woman you see has been Michael's makeup artist for over 20 years. After listening to the glowing praise Bashir had for Michael in this interview, she had a very hard time believing he could call Neverland a dangerous place for children.
I've never read about that. I didn't even...
It's so hard for me to imagine that Michael opened up the gates not only to Neverland but to his heart, to Bashir. And I really thought that Bashir got it.
It's getting
And
worse.
like, he does, I mean, I can't tell you, I know with him, you never see anybody talk about that stuff. What he did.
But when Michael's talking,
twist,
but
like
when
this-
he's talking about the things that he's passionate about, it's obvious that it's in his eyes.
Yeah,
This is what's in his
people
heart.
usually don't ask these questions of him.
That's it.
And if they do, they don't make it in the papers, they don't make it on the interviews, it's all the negative stuff.
Stupid rumors.
And they cut questions out and they just like they make it. That's why he doesn't even do interviews anymore. They twist everything. From the moment I met him, I mean, I remember. How can people be so cruel? I read an article and I was crying, and he goes,
It's disgusting. Well, we ain't doing that here.
Now, what could make an award-winning journalist have such a different opinion between what he would say on the air and what he would say in the interview footage not included in his special? It appears that after Mr. Bashir had called cut for his own camera crew, he may well have forgotten that Michael's camera was still recording his every word, a possibility supported by a written request from both him and the producers of his special to make Michael's footage available for their review. The different opinion expressed by Mr. Bashir regarding the safety of the underprivileged children who visit Neverland is only the first of several contradictory moments captured on tape, all of which you will see and hear on this program.
When we come back, an exclusive interview with Michael's ex-wife.
As much as I do not speak about my family, I will. Right now.
Michael makes a long overdue confession.
You had sex with Debbie.
Yes.
I know that's difficult for me to say because you're so embarrassed. But you actually had sex with her. You conceived those children.
Yes.
And Debbie tells us about the result.
And then his son was born. And the look on his face.
Plus, a very surprising revelation from Michael's private cameras. All when we return to the Michael Jackson interview, the footage you were never meant to see.